This is Tim Berg, also known as Avicii. You've probably heard of him before. Easily one of the biggest electronic artists ever, and one of the biggest names in music in general from the mid-2000s all the way up until now. He has released some of the biggest songs ever, such as Seek Bromance, Hey Brother, The Nights,
The life you will remember. My father told me when I was just a child.
Levels, and Waiting for Love.
The stars, it's Friday. I'm burning like a fire gone wild.
But today we are going to be talking about easily his biggest song, Wake Me Up. Seeing as it recently hit over 2 billion listens on Spotify on its 10th birthday, which, if you do the math and times 2 billion by the song's length of 4 minutes and 8 seconds, we get this number. Convert that to years, and we have collectively listened to the song for a staggering 15,525 years. So, good job us, I suppose. This video will go into the creation of the song, the structure, the meaning, and its lasting impact. Written by Tim himself, along with singer and songwriter Mike Einziger of the band Incubus, and featured Egbert Nathaniel Dawkins III, also known as Aloe Blacc, on vocals. This song served as the lead single for Tim's album True, released on the 17th of June 2013. Wake Me Up was first premiered on Pete Tong's BBC Radio 1 show a few days earlier on the 14th of June 2013. Aloe Blacc also released his own acoustic version of the song later that year on the 23rd of October. The song was first premiered prior to release at the since-closed Hollywood Vanguard in 2013. After that, it was played at Ultra Music Festival by Avicii along with a live band including Mike Einziger on guitar, Aloe singing vocals live, a live drummer, and a banjo as well, for some reason. Maybe an earlier version of the song included a banjo? Wake Me Up's creation is briefly documented in this video on Avicii's YouTube channel, as well as a few interviews with Avicii and Aloe Blacc. The song was said to have come about in the space of about 2 or 3 hours, with Tim and Mike in Mike's studio together in Malibu. They had already got a lot of the song melodically written down, but Tim said he had to go to meet Aloe to finish another project they had in the works. To which Mike told him to just invite Aloe to the studio they were in, and they could finish the song the two of them were writing at the moment. Aloe came to the studio with some lyrics he had prepared on the plane to Malibu, which he presented to Mike, who started playing some chords and melodies to fit with it. Aloe wasn't sure about some of the lyrics he had presented to them, but Tim and Mike both thought they were perfect for the song they had written. After writing down the rest of the lyrics and the guitar chord structure, Aloe went into the recording booth and recorded many different takes on the vocal. Avicii has always been known by his collaborators to have an incredible attention to detail when it comes to vocals and melodies, and directed Aloe until they had the perfect take for the song. Avicii then took the vocal takes and Mike's guitar recording and added the synths, drums, bass, and effects. Those lyrics that Aloe Blacc brought to the studio session were written around the idea of harmony and being loving and harmonious. In this clip, Aloe describes the meaning behind the lyrics he wrote for the song.
What does Wake Me Up mean?
Well, there are so many issues. But for me, the most important thing is harmony. We need to be woken up to be a more harmonious and loving people. And I know we all feel like we are. I feel like I am. But I feel like there are others who may be just a bit mistaken about how loving and harmonious they are, namely world leaders who are oppressing their people. I mean, there's a lot of things to be woken up about, and Wake Me Up for me lyrically is about living in a dream. I feel like my life is so good that I just get to sing every day and make people happy that I don't want to be woken up from this dream.
During his rise to fame, Tim became known for infusing the popular EDM sounds of the time with country music instruments and songwriting tropes and melodies, and Wake Me Up is no exception. Here's a quick rundown of the song itself. There's not a lot really to unpack here. The most prominent aspects of the song are the acoustic guitar, Aloe Blacc's vocals, and the festival-sized EDM chorus that fills up the top-line melody you've undoubtedly heard before. The track starts out with the acoustic guitar mentioned earlier, a staple of many genres, but in this case it's most similar to the way an acoustic guitar is usually played in country songs. The guitar gets filtered away when Aloe Blacc's vocals start. Whether you like the song or not, it's undoubtedly clear that Aloe has such a powerful singing voice, carrying the verses and bridge section towards the end. At 39 seconds into the song, we first hear the drums come in, taking the form of a simple 4/4 kick pattern, with claps in between. While the drums aren't very powerful, I'd argue that that is a good thing in this case, as it means the drums don't take over at any point and allow the other elements of the song to shine through more. We then hear a big swell at the 1 minute and 7 second point, which is followed by the main lead synth with the claps continuing underneath. During this section, Avicii uses a little-known production secret that builds tension unlike anything else. A secret that was exposed by Porter Robinson during his Nurture album VR stream in 2021, where in a VR chat world, which allows you to make music by placing different objects under raindrops to create beats, he demonstrated the secret that Avicii and many others used in their songs.
Y'all want to know the secret to techno music? Take the kick out. Okay. You put that bitch back in.
Using the secret Porter mentioned, as well as a simple white noise riser, Avicii builds up into the main chorus, which brings the kick back in, with some bass and lots of white noise to bring up the energy, especially prominent during the first few seconds of the chorus. Avicii then uses the secret technique again, along with another swell at the end to signal the end of the chorus and the transition into the next verse. In traditional Max Martin pop fashion, the next verse drops all the energy from the chorus, bringing back the acoustic guitar and Aloe Blacc's vocals, and introduces a piano into the mix. This is then followed by an extended verse and then the pre-chorus, which loops the main synth underneath Aloe's vocals without playing the home note to increase tension as it builds into the final chorus. We then have the final chorus, which is much the same as the first one, but in a song like this, that's all that's needed. Doesn't this song just take you back to what felt like a simpler time in dance music, where all the big festival EDM songs sounded so simple, you could count all the top DJs on one hand, and it still felt like you were misunderstood by your elders because you told them that you liked electronic music, or EDM? I know I was that kid who struggled to tell my parents that I was into this new kind of music called electronic music that no one else seemed to be interested in. While this song is not the most complex lyrically or melodically or production-wise, it is a great example of simplicity in a song to increase its accessibility and listenability. The first time someone listens through this song, they are immediately able to understand the structure, tone, and energy it's going for, and the fundamental elements of it, which allows for a very easy listening experience. This song has also been remixed and covered to hell and back over the years by many artists big and small. Since Avicii's death, Wake Me Up has been as popular as it's ever been, with it being the centerpiece of the Avicii tribute concert held a few years ago at the Friends Arena in Stockholm, Sweden, Tim's hometown. As mentioned at the start of the video, the song also turned 10 years old this year and surpassed 2 billion listens on Spotify, being one of only 40 or so songs to have achieved that title. Not to end on a dark note, but something I've always thought about with Tim's death in 2018 and the release of his final album in 2019, will we still think about Avicii in 50 to 100 years' time? Obviously we will still be listening to his music in 50 years' time, but will the Avicii well eventually dry up, and eventually will he only be remembered as the guy who died very young and made a few of the biggest songs of the 2010s? What do you think? Do you think we will remember Avicii in 50 years' time like we do today? Thanks for watching. All the links to the songs and videos used in the video will be in the description below. Anyway, that's about it. Now be sure to like and do all the things that every other person on this site tells you to do. I'll see you next time.